Hey everybody, and welcome back to another lecture with Coding with Roby. In this lecture, we're going to enhance our rating and our author within our book base model class. We're going to enhance it by using fields. We're going to be setting greater than and less than for the rating to keep individuals between 1 and 100 or 0 and 100. And we'll be adding a max length to authors and a minimal length to author as well. So let's start by adding this to our rating. Rating:int is equal to field. And inside field, we have a greater than, we can say by doing GT, which stands for greater than. We're going to say greater than -1. Now remember, this is greater than, not greater than or equal to. It needs to be greater than. So 0 is greater than -1, but -1 is not greater than -1. So if we want to make sure the ratings are between 0 and 100, we need to make sure that it's greater than -1. And then we can also say less than, which we need to say is less than 101. Because again, 100 is less than 101, but 101 and higher numbers are not less than 101. So right here with rating int equals field greater than equals -1 and less than equals 101, this means that a client's rating needs to be between 0 and 100. And for author, we also want to do another field for extra data validation. Here we can just say equals field, and inside here we want to say that the author's minimal length is equal to 1. We're also going to say the maximal length of an author is less than 100. Typically, you're going to be adding these kind of data validations to objects because of how the SQL database or whatever type of database you are using. It depends on how many characters they are allowing for certain areas or certain columns within a table. And it's oftentimes that the author variable is not allowed for maximum characters and there needs to be some kind of length attached to it. So I'm going to say max length is equal to 100. And there we go. We have our class book with an ID of a UUID, our title, which is a minimal length of 1, our author, which is a string with a minimal length of 1 and a maximum length of 100. We have our description, which is completely optional, with a title describing what the book is, with also a max and minimal length. And then our rating, which needs to be between 0 and 100. Let's save this and open up our browser and refresh the page. If we scroll down now to our schema and we open up book, we can see that each thing's a little bit bigger than it used to be. So title now needs a minimal length of 1, and our rating needs an inclusive maximum of 101 and exclusive minimum of -1. And we scroll back up here now and we say try it out, and we want to change rating to 102. And we click execute. We can see an error because this limit value is 101. However, if we change this to 101 and we click execute, this will also fail because the number needs to be less than 101. The message even describes ensure this value is less than 101. So let's come up here and say this is 100. And now if we say execute, we're going to get a successful 200 status code response because rating is within 0 to 100. Description is optional and it also has the minimal and maximum length. Our author minimal length is 1 and our maximal length is 100, so this fits perfectly. And then our title also sits within the minimal length of 1, and we're passing in a UUID. This wraps up this lecture on adding extra validation to each item within our book, and I will see you in the next video.